Hello again. This short will be all about world talk. So let's get right into it. This is the general map of where my comic takes place. This here is solar, and this is lunar. Together they make the Eclipse Isles. In solar there are multiple kingdoms that have their own land. The Fae Kingdom is the largest, taking up most of the solar island. In the center is the Lumina Kingdom. The Deadlands are not populated by any human species or Fae. There exists only the dead and creatures that lurks in the sand and ashes. The islands around the Eclipse Isles are populated by some kind of species. Some, like the No Man's Land, are completely uninhabited by human or Faes. Lunar, on the other hand, lacks the multiple kingdoms since the entire island is one on its own. Lunar lacks green nature and population. The land is mostly shadows. There will be more world talk. This one was mostly just so you'd be familiar with the general area and place. In the next short I will be discussing about the Lumina Kingdom. But for now I will take my leave. Before I leave though, I'll give you a quick heads up that I won't post a short for next week. Bye now. Hello! In this short I'll be talking about the Lumina Kingdom. The Lumina Kingdom is located in the center of Solar. The Lumina Kingdom is a small kingdom. It has trouble with getting water for its people due to its location. They're very dependent of rainwater. They were a strong kingdom but are now in poverty. Their religion is heavily about the god of light. I won't now be rambling about gods. I'll leave that for a future video. This is the Lumina Kingdom flag. It represents the god of light that the people in the kingdom believe in. The general layout of the kingdom is just a large circle. Here we have the center circle where the castle itself stands. This slice is the market area, where citizens sell and trade for anything of use. Here are the fields where farmers work to try and get any kind of crops. Here is the church and graveyard. Here the citizens live. Most houses are combined, forcing complete strangers to live with someone else. Here we have the entertainment slice. There isn't much but a pub and stage for any potential performances. And here we have the guards' billet, blacksmith and armory. Overall, the Lumina Kingdom is small and lacks resources. That's about it for the Lumina Kingdom. I'll gladly answer any questions about the place if there are any. For the next short I'll talk about the Deadlands, so be ready for some spooks. Bye! Hello! This short will be about the Deadlands, so let's get right into it. The Deadlands are located south on Solar. The Deadlands have no human or Fae species populating it. There's mostly just flesh-eating creatures and ghosts. The land is just a big sandy and ashy desert. There are broken down ruins from a previous civilization. The No Man's Land is pretty much a death sentence. Once you go there, there's no coming back. This here may look like a big rock, but in reality, it's a large fish head. No one knows how it got there. The best they can do is guess. The Deadlands are one of the more dangerous places to explore. There's danger in every nook and cranny. Ghosts usually just roam. If you're lucky, you might see a family member. That's pretty much it about the Deadlands. Next time will be about the Fae Kingdom. There's a lot to cover about that one, so it'll have multiple parts. Bye! Hello! This video will be one of many parts talking about the Fae Kingdom. This part will be about the mountain regions. So let's get right into it. The Fae Kingdom takes up most of the solar island. The mountain regions being, of course, at the mountains. This is the mountain region's central, Bargful. You can find most hoofling species populating this area. These here are the hoofling's flag and the individual hoofling species flags. The flags currently aren't the complete thing. They're a work in progress, but I'll be using them for the videos. Anyways, the mountains is covered with small huts and shacks where Faes live. Many live at Bargful though due to the much easier access to stores and such. The languages they speak are a mix of the Scandinavian languages in our world. I'll talk more about the individual cultures some other time though, since there's a lot to cover. That's it for part 1 of the Fae Kingdom. The next will be about the forest region. Bye! Hello! This is part 2 of the Fae Kingdom. The forest region. The forest region is occupied by multiple Faes, like trolls, fairies, and some hooflings. There are 4 towns or cities located in the forest region: Djurvgi, Hooflair, Sturter, and Fornib. The towns are hidden within the trees, making it hard to find. Fornib is a town with all species except sea people that live there. Of course, the forest region has many more creatures other than Faes roaming around. but that's for a future video. That's it for the forest region. Of course, there will be more in a future video, but for now I'll keep it short. Bye!
Hello! This is part 3 of the Fey Kingdom, the fields. So let's get right into it. The fields are anywhere where there isn't much forest. Like here, for example. This specific area is the more populated one. Here many hoofling camps can be found. The fields do not have any permanent buildings. Reason is because the Fays have agreed to not ruin them. Of course, there are many permanent buildings Fays have made, like the ones in the forest and mountain regions. But those were made to not ruin the environment. The ones in the forest were made in a way to not ruin the trees. And the ones in the mountains follow how the mountain is made. That's it for the fields regions. The next part will be about the ocean, which is pretty much a kingdom of its own. I'll still include it with the Fey Kingdom since it is populated with Fays. Bye!
Hello! This is part 4, technically its own part, of the Fey Kingdom. This video's topic will be the ocean. So let's get right into it. Since this is the ocean, we can't really pinpoint on the map of where things are. And since there's a lot of stuff there, we'll just talk about the capital of the ocean. Ocean's capital. I don't have an official name for it yet, so we're sticking to this one. Anyways, so this is Ocean's capital. It's located not too far from the Eclipse Isles. If you look at it from a different perspective, it's layered, like a cake. Each layer is a living area for whatever status a sea person has. Lowest are the low rankings like workers and peasants. The one above are teachers, merchants and craftsmen. Here are soldiers and nobles. And here is where the king lives. These pillars here are a type of watchtower for the sea guardians. They all look the same, so I'll use this guy as an example. They have a very long history, so I'll keep it short. These fish giants are sea guardians. Their job is pretty self-explanatory. Protect the sea and keep things at peace. The Sea King Thales requested for 4 of them to protect Ocean's capital. And ever since then they've stood on their pillars and kept any intruders away. Their flag is similar to the rest of the Fey Kingdom's flags. And if it wasn't obvious enough, I've based the ocean off Greek. That should be it for the ocean's capital. I might sooner or later dwell down deeper into different regions of the ocean, but that'll be for another time. The next video, however, will be a bit later than the usual ones. So stay tuned. Bye! In this video, we're gonna be talking about Lunar in itself is a large kingdom. It is located over here. The reason why everything looks so depressing is because the nature's all wilted and withered. Not to mention that it's more darkness than land. Glitch, I know, but enough about that. Let's have a look at the inside of the castle, going from top to bottom. Also, the castle is pretty much the Bodium castle. I just recolored and added some other stuff to it. Now, back on track. This is the top layer. Here's where the office is located. There's not much here, so let's go down a level. Here are a set of stairs. You know, for that dramatic entrance. Here's the throne room. Here are tables and whatnot, but it's not like anyone's using them. And lastly, we have the basement. Here are cells and a big old table. That's the castle interior. Here's the flag. It looks similar to the Lumina Kingdom's flag. Despite its large area, there's barely any inhabitants unless you count the slaves. Either way, it's a very bare and eerie place.